Good day everyone and welcome to my tutorial video. Today I want to show you how I made this cake. My first step was to cut out the geode part of my cake. I used a dummy cake for this video as it was easy to use. Next step, take some ice mold that has already been melted and spread out over a sheet and crush it into fine pieces. I then took some fondant and shaped it to fit into the geode hole made previously. I wet my fondant with some water to make it sticky and then used some of my ice mold shards and stuck them into the fondant. Stick some more shards in where necessary. I continued by painting the entire geode Inca gold. Spread some cornstarch on your work surface and start creating your fondant piece. You want the fondant to be rough and therefore I used some fondant that had been out of its packet for a few hours. The harder fondant pieces create some nice texture. I used white and dark grey fondant and pieced it together. Then I took some of my isomalt shards and put it on top of the fondant before rolling it in. I also used some black pieces of isomalt. You can then paint the entire thing white. I used some satin white and a confectioner's glaze. Use a creme brulee gun or heat gun and just gently blow over the fondant to harden the top. Continue by rolling out your fondant to the right thickness. It will now cause cracks. Next, I wet my white fondant on my cake with water to make it sticky and then place my new fondant on the cake. It will fall apart and crack. That's what you want it to do. Try not to be a total control freak like me and don't control where it goes. It's really hard to do, but I managed. You can also use a piece of tin foil to create some texture if you feel the cake needs it. I then used my Inca gold and painted inside the cracks around the entire cake. Because I wanted a bas-relief effect for my cake, I used one of my favorite crystal candy molds and made some flowers with leftover fondant. Stick these flowers on over your entire cake, coming out the cracks or anywhere you think it will look pretty. Use some satin white and dry brush over your flowers to make them look old and like they belong with the rest of your cake. I had made an isomalt sail for the top of my cake and cut out a groove for it to fit into. Using some leftover fondant, I built up a base that held my isomalt sail in place. I decided to use more isomalt shards and stick them into the fondant so the entire top of the cake looks like a rock that burst open with gold sticking out. Paint all the shards and the isomalt sail with Inca gold to match the rest of your cake. That's it! You have an awesome cake! This was so much fun to create. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that we see you next time.